where everybody could mute so there's no interference. Because with Zoom, if there's background noise and interference, it kind of interferes with somebody speaking. So if everybody could mute, and then when you're the next person to speak can unmute. Okay. So let's start with Mr. Henderson at the top there.
Hi.
Unmute, Howard.
Yes,
Wow.
okay. I'm Howard. You don't have to go with the formal, we're all good friends. A big hole in my heart. And I thank all of you who was close with him through the many years. Big hole, big hole. Look at that picture, that smiling face, the love. God.
My headphones. Oh, right here. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we're back. Okay.
I just thank you. I just thank everybody. I've done a lot of funerals. I've been to a lot of funerals. I've talked, I've given talks. Boy, but the memorials, I just can't. This is a big hole, but I appreciate the support and continue on. The pictures, the comments, and just seeing everyone is great. I pass it on, Liz.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Alana and Eric.
Hi, I'm Alana. Lonnie, as some of you probably remember me, I'm Charlotte's niece and lived with Charlotte and Howard when I was in high school. And I'm here in Sacramento with Charlotte at her house. So I'm in the other room because we just walked in the door and Eric is unloading the car, but it's nice to see everybody.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
Hi, how are you? You know who I am. Everybody that was attached to Unrelated know that I was his mama. And how many days haven't we eaten together? He's gone, but I am grateful to God for the young man that he was. He knew love, he shared it, and it's evident by all the people that are on here today. When you lose someone, there's no words, there's nothing that can put that back together again. But I'm grateful for the life that he was able to live. I told Charlotte, I said, I had him all to myself for 30 years and she had him for 31. And so I'm grateful for the life that God gave him, a long life. You can put whatever words you want to it. I'm grateful for the life that he gave him. And I love all you guys, and Jeff and Manny and all of you have been a part of your life in some form or fashion. And it's great to see you. And I pray that you enjoy the rest of your life. Enjoy the rest that God has given you. Pass.
Thank you. Kathleen.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Militello. I live in Rochester, New York, and I'm one of Howard's unbiological people that he has volunteered to mentor me for the past 40 years. But I grew up in the Bay Area. I'm a Campbell girl, grew up in Campbell, California, and knew of Howie and heard through the years of his circumstances. And he's certainly been in our thoughts and prayers, my husband David and mine. And I just want to give my condolences to his beautiful family.
Thank you. Manny?
Hi, guys. I've had the pleasure of meeting 50% of you, but I've had the pleasure of hearing about 100% of you. I've had the honor and pleasure of working with Howard. He joined my company, not only joined my company, joined my heart, joined my family. He's touched us all in many, many different ways, individually. Not only with his kind words, his warm heart, his caring. And Shar, he loved you. He loved you so much. There wasn't a day that went by he didn't mention your name.
Yep.
And Seth, he adored that boy. Absolutely adored it. Every milestone that Seth went through, I was there listening. Ever since Howard was holding him in his arms. He was a stay-at-home dad for a while, and he was proud of it. He was proud to raise his son.
Yep.
I couldn't have done it without him. I couldn't have raised my company without him. I couldn't gone through life without some of his advice.
Yeah.
And the stories that he's told about each and every one of you guys, it's just amazing. And it's always been positive, just absolutely positive. And I looked forward every morning to seeing this guy walking to the office with a big smile on his face, a big smile. And man, it was always a conversation because he would tell me, you know, I just got off the phone with my mom. And there it goes. That story would just start from there, you know, or you know what Seth did today? He did this, he did that. He's so proud of him. He's definitely an empty spot in my heart. And I just can't pick up the phone anymore and call him. And that hurts. That really, really does hurt because I just want to text him, hey, bud, you know. And it just, I'm sorry, God. But just know that he talked about each and every one of you guys because we would spend 12 hours a day in the office in a small office just talking. And each and every one of you he loved very much, very, very much. And I, you know, I hope and pray that, you know, everybody got the chance to know him like I did. Thank you very much, guys. And I know he was a very, very loved man. I know he was a loved man. Thank you, Shar. Love you guys. I'll pass it on.
Thank you. Thank you, Manny. Charlotte?
Great. How am I supposed to follow that? Thanks, Manny. Howard's wife. And pretty quiet around here. Of course, Lonnie and her family of 5 has helped out with that a little bit since Christmas Day, but they're going to be gone the end of this coming week here because their time's up in the park here. And then it'll just be me and Seth and Leonella for however long Seth gets to stay with me because he was Howard's caregiver on paper here at the park, which is why he was allowed to live here, because this is a 55 and over park. And you have to be 45 to live here, not on the lease. And so I'm figuring he's going to be gone pretty soon, but hopefully not too soon. So meanwhile, just trying to maintain, and you know, you walk around and then you see something and then it starts all over again. So, you know, clothes in the closet. I haven't gone through anything yet because, you know, can't get to it. Right, Lon? We can't even open the drawers or the, you know, we are packed at the gills here with 8 people staying here with a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. But you know, it's been a blessing. So anyway, thank you, Rob, for putting this together, and kind of hoping we'd see some of his other bandmates show up here, which we haven't, others than, you know, Jeff from the Rat Pack and you. Let me see anybody else in the band with him that I don't know. So yesterday, well, last night, I guess it was like midnight, I was awake and I saw there was a Tower of Power, the 50-year reunion was on last night at midnight on PBS. I turned it on and immediately I saw Bruce Conti and I said, Bruce Conti's, he was just in the beginning part. And then after I didn't see Bruce anymore, I looked in the back and I saw, oh, what's his name? He sung with the, I can't think of his name right now. I don't think he was with Tower of Power, but he was part of that, you know, tribute band. Or anyway, it was kind of fun to see that. And I thought, you know, where's Howard when you need him so he can tell me, you know, tell me stories. But anyway, I thought that was a sign when that came on last night. Little thing. So anyway, everybody's been very supportive and appreciate it very much. And I hope, you know, hope this isn't the last time I get to, you know, hang out with y'all. So, and hey, is that Frank? Okay, Frankie's here. So anyway, I'll turn it over to somebody else, but just that's kind of what's going on here. So obviously we miss him.
Thank you. Michelle?
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I am Carol's daughter. So Carol and funny thing, kind of funny, he's always been known to me as Uncle Darren. Almost didn't even know his name was Howard because he was always Uncle Darren. So him and my mom are, the term is step brother, step sister, but we don't use that term. So that was her brother. My mom was his sister. And we're out here in Arizona, and just wanted to come on and give our love and support from myself and my daughter and my mom. And it's good to see so many people and how much, and get to hear stories about him. That picture that Manny has that's him smiling all the time. When I was younger, I actually thought he played for the 49ers because everything he wore was red and gold. And I was like, yeah, my uncle plays for the 49ers when I was younger. But he was always made me laugh. My first time visiting out there in California was to visit Uncle Darren and Aunt Char, and It was so fun, and I have a picture I was going to show later, but I might have to show it now, only because I have something else. But this was my favorite picture of me and my Uncle Darren. I don't know how old I am. I think I was getting ready to go to kindergarten that day, and they were visiting Phoenix, and he walked me to my bus stop. And we have a few other pictures where we're in the backyard with my mom and my grandparents, but this has always been my favorite picture of me and him. So we miss him, and we thank you all for the love and support.
Thank you, Jeff.
It's a privilege to be here, and I enjoy listening to everybody, and I have to agree, I've heard all about you all, and this is let me duck down here. There he is. There's our 6'1" Sammy Davis Jr., which when I first met Howard over 15 years ago now, it was such a joy because we start talking and he said, "You have an accent." I go, "What accent?" And it turns out, I said, "I grew up in Queens, man." He goes, "What? I'm from Mount Vernon." I said, "You and Heavy D," right? So, and we started talking. All of a sudden, we formed this connection, and then we got to perform together. And his stories, his Popeye voices, and he, the audience has always loved him. And we would drive to gigs together, and he and Matt and Howard are up in heaven right now, doing a couple of gigs together. So it was their time, and they gave and they loved while they were here. And what's beautiful is that everybody on this call now, Howard, Darren, I love that. He probably had other names I don't know about. Are always going to be part of each of us, and that's the beautiful thing. I have the gigs. I mean, seriously, we talk, and I'd pick up the phone and I'd hear player, and I knew who it was. It was Howard. Manny, we'd rehearse at your office there, and he was always talking about you and the family. And we did so many Rat Pack gigs down where my folks live at the Villages. So there's Matt, and there's my mother and father, and my mother passed 7 years ago, and she adored him because she saw his heart, and that's what she was, all heart. And that's how moms who grew up in New York are all about, right? There's all about love. And just spending time with him was always a joy, always and it didn't matter if the story was true or not. You have to understand that, right? It was a good story. And that's what we always say to my mother. We say, "Ma, why you tell us a story?" And she'd say, "I make it interesting." And as you all know, no matter what the story was, Howard always made it interesting and fun. And his love and his heart will be with us forever. And I miss him. And I'm so thankful I got to have a video call with him a week before he passed, not knowing that was coming. But his mind was sharp. And we talked, we joked. And he got on that phone. I said, "Dude, you look like buckwheat. What's going on here, man?" And he was laughing. He goes, "Yeah, you like my hair?" I said, "Come on, man." He goes, "I got to get you back on stage." And we tease him because when he first had his foot problem with his foot, I said, "You're destined to be 5'6" and really be Sammy again, aren't you?" Right? 'Cause he was getting short, and he started laughing. And he was telling me about the rings. He was getting me a New York Mets ring and all that because he knew that was my team. And there's always something fun, but always heart. And he loved you all, talked about you all. And it's people that are genuine and with heart like that that come along in life, and you hold on to them tight. And when they go, we miss them, but it was his time. It wasn't our time to let him go, but he's still there. He's still part of all of us, and he always will be. So God bless you all. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jim McGovern. I don't really know many people here. I hope I'm not intruding. I knew Howard from Alcoholics Anonymous, and he regularly attended one of the meetings that I went to often. And he was always decked out in 49ers stuff, head to toe. And during the 49ers season, that's what I wear too. I mean, it's basketball season now, you can see. So, but during football, I've got 49ers stuff from head to toe. And we used to talk about the team and stuff. My understanding was that Howard was on the practice squad for the 49ers. So I could be wrong about that. That might have been a tale, but I loved his bling. And the great thing about Howard for me was when he would share at the meeting, he would have an acronym for everything he was trying to say. Whatever the bullet point was, he'd finish up with an acronym for that word. Not just once or twice, all the time. And I just love to hear his shares. You know, he was a great guy. And just speaking for the folks at AA, I can tell you that we all miss him dearly too. Thanks for letting me be a part of this.
Thank you. There's a woman who has iPhone, so I don't know what your name is, but the woman in blue.
Oh, hi. My name is Michelle. Are you guys getting me? Okay. My name is Michelle Fajo Pugh, and I've known Howard since 98, actually, doing special events with him, and also working with him and Manny's team at Bay City events. But you know, Howard was one of the first people I met doing a picnic together. It was he and Kenny Winston. They showed me the ropes. Just two big personalities. I'll never forget Howard. He was always so charismatic, definite entertainer. Always, like everyone said, had a story to tell. Loved being around his energy. A funny story I have is I remember it was Manny, Howie, and we were all in Manny's office, and you know, the guys joking around and that kind of thing, and the guys were talking about titles of the company or something, and Howie comes up with, well, I'm the CEO, and we're like, CEO? And we're like, Chief Executive Officer? And he goes, no, Chief Entertainment Officer. And every time I think of that, it brings a smile to my face, because it was just so funny. And he definitely is the CEO, and I'm sure he is entertaining everybody up above for sure. And we will always have fond memories of him. And Shar and Zeph, I'm just so sorry for your loss, and the rest of the family and his friends. Like everyone said, he's definitely left a hole in our hearts, but he will remain in our hearts and thoughts for forever. And I know this past few years, we haven't actually had a chance to do a lot of events with him. And, you know, we've really missed him out there, because he's always been part of our team, and just love the guy a lot. So, you know, he always called me Shell Bell. That kind of stuck with me with the Bay City events group, and so I'll always be his Shell Bell, and I just miss him tremendously. But thank you all for doing this. The service was beautiful last weekend. Thank you so much. I'm passing it on.
Thank you. Terrence?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Terrence. I am Darren / Howard's brother. I have two other brothers and a sister, Carol, Dunstan, Vincent, and myself. And we are all going to miss him greatly. My brother was a character. Okay. There's no other words. When we were growing up, there were things that I wanted to do, and my brother would like, no, Terrence, no, we can't be doing that. No, we can't be doing that, Terrence. That's not, no. And I'm like, no, wait, stay back. Let me handle this. And my brother was a very concerning person that cared a lot. So whether you were doing something positive, negative, he tried to intervene in a way to make you feel that he had your best interests. He was a comedian before he became an adult. He always wanted to be an entertainer. As we were growing up, we used to imitate being singing groups, playing instruments. I remember when he told me he was going to play the guitar, and he wanted to work hard in the summer program to buy his first guitar. Believe it was a Gibson. I remember it being burgundy and gold, just like the San Francisco 49er uniform. And he cherished that thing like it was gold. That was his heart. That was his everything. And it's just something that, for him, music was his life. Entertainment was his life. And he's going to be missed. I didn't get to see him much out in California. I did see him and Charlotte when they got married. It was fun being out there with him. It was fun seeing him. He came back home to New York, and I spent time with him here in New York. This may have been his birthplace, but his life was California. His life was San Francisco. His life was music out there. So he adopted California as his home. And the many people that were out there, they became his closest friends. Not that the friends here in New York weren't his friends, but they were a lot of them were going and gone before their time too. So he really adapted to the family that he had out there in California. You mentioned about the 49ers. He used to always tell me, because I'm a Giant fan, I'm a New York fan by heart. And every football season, he would call me up, rub it in how San Francisco beat the Giants. And finally, when my Giants did get to be on top, I got a chance to call him up and laugh at him. But I'm gonna miss my brother. Just like all of y'all, he was very dear to my heart. My mom, my dad, this is a heavy day for us. It's a real heavy day. We're trying to make it through. I know Charlotte and Seth are trying to make it through. And we just want all of y'all's support in getting us through this. And don't worry, I know he's looking down from heaven. I think somebody brought it up that he's probably doing a gig right now with his Sammy Davis Jr. or his lead in playing that guitar. He played a mean guitar. So I want to thank you all, and prayers all out to y'all. And also prayers to Matt, because Matt passed away a few weeks back, I believe. And that was part of the Rat Pack. And he will be sorely missed. And like you said, they're probably up there doing a gig right now, having everybody cracking up, including the originals Rat Pack. So again, I say thank you, and I pass it on.
Thank you. Joe?
Hey guys, I'm just happy to be here, like everybody was saying. I've known Howard for about 15 years, and started working events with him with Manny. And when I walked into an event or a party and you saw him, you knew you were gonna have a good night. You knew things were gonna be fun, and he had a way of reading a crowd and doing stuff that I've never seen anybody else do. He's one of the best MCs I've ever seen. And if the crowd started getting kind of sluggish or slowing down, he would get up there and he would do his Popeye, his Sammy. He'd walk around and schmooze with everybody. And you can't find that. That's not something you learn. That's something that you just have, that you're born with, that you can just read people like that. And then more recently, I just got sober about 16 months ago. And when he found that out, he called me every single day in that first month to make sure that I was okay, to make sure that I had everything that I needed. And if I needed to talk to somebody who had, gone through it, that I could talk to him. And even when, stuff was, kind of bad, he'd call me up and still make me laugh about it. And yeah, so that was just the kind of person that he was. Just big heart, all love into that room. He just was the center of attention, and people ate it up. People loved it. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm thankful to have known him. And to everybody else, yeah, we're all gonna have a big hole in our heart. But like you guys said, he's up there entertaining the real Rat Pack right now. Thank you. I'll pass it on.
Thank you. Alan?
Yes, hi. I don't know, can you guys hear me okay? Cool. My name is Alan Coulter, and we live here in Florida. We were living down the road from Howard for about, 3 years, or 4 years, 3 or 4 years. And I probably knew him the least amount of time than the rest of you guys. But the time that I was able to spend with Howard, okay, I'm trying to get through this. I've been working it up, so I'm trying to get through this because it definitely brings tears to my eyes when I talk about Howard. He was such a joy. And I was sitting here trying to think of the things that we did. We did so much in that 3 or 4 years that we were together. We had an opportunity to go to a 49ers game. We had an opportunity to go dancing. We went to a reggae show. I sat with Howard many hours here. I mean, once I left Sacramento, we moved here about 2 years ago. And from the time I left there, I'd say maybe about 2 or 3 hours after I left, Howard started calling me. And I literally talked to Howard almost every day during about a year and a half that since we've been here. And believe me, I needed that because I told Howard, I said, we have no friends here. And Howard was my biggest supporter. He just give me a call to see how we were doing. And it was just a blessing to have Howard in our lives. I'm trying to think what it was. We did. I introduced him to the casino. We had an opportunity to go to the casino and do a little bit of just about everything. We walked our dogs, things that he didn't think that he was able to do. I got him to go out and do those things because I told him, I said, we still have a lot of life left in us. Let's go out and make the best of it. So it was just great knowing him, and he talked about you guys all the time. Like I said, we spent a lot of hours on the phone talking just about everything, primarily about sports. My team was the Oakland Raiders, his was the 49ers, and we would, you know, it was great spending time with him to watch the basketball. You know, I was a Laker fan, he was a Warriors fan. And before I left, I became a Warriors fan, even though they weren't my team, but I started knowing some of the players only because Howard was interested in them. And, you know, he took an interest in the things that I wanted to do. So it was a blessing just to be able to spend the time with him. He got the chance to, we went out dancing one night. My mom, today she's 89 years old. And Howard, you know, we just sat there and talked with her. And, you know, he was just the type of guy that he gravitates toward, people gravitated toward him. And he was a great listener. He'll listen to you, and then he always have something encouraging to say. So, you know, I think the Lord brought Howard into my life for a reason, and I am so grateful, so grateful. I'm a much better person because of Howard. I mean, like I say, we literally talked almost every day. And then he would want to do videos. I'd be out fishing at the beach, and he'll call me and he say, "Let's do a video. I want to see it." You know, so it was just great. It was, you know, he was an entertainer all the time. And I was telling my wife, the one thing that I got out of that video or out of the service last week was the word love. Everybody was talking about love. And that's the type of person that Howard was. And he just love just spread it everywhere, anywhere, anytime he was around. I mean, even when he was doing dialysis, he knew people there, and you know, it was like he knew these people for years, and he might have only known them for a couple of days. But, you know, I can probably go on with a lot of other stories, and I'm sure once this is over with, I'm gonna be thinking, wow, why didn't I mention this? You know, because it means a lot to me that I'm able to share my friendship with Howard. He was like a brother to me. And my wife said, you know, he was your best friend. Well, he was. Howard was literally my best friend. And I feel so blessed that I had an opportunity to share my life with him. I'm gonna pass it on. Thank you.
Rob, can Howard's other mother say a point there?
Yes, sir.
Well, my name is Adassa Henderson. I've been Howard's mom for 49 years. Only few people could say they have two mothers, and he was one of them. And away from the love he showed, he was a very respectful child, and he was a very respectful man. He never disrespected anyone. And he was also my husband. When he was young and goes to school, although I was mom, he made me a ring, and he says, "I'm marrying to you." So I was his mother, but I was also his wife. We loved him very dearly. We met Charlotte, we went out, we visit. They come, and they were one family. So our family, I call it a poltergeist. And from London to Arizona to Rochester, we have a big family, and we all embrace that family as one. I don't call any of my children stepchildren. They're not step, they're my children. Jesus was never called stepchild in the Bible. He was Joseph's son, and yet he was the Son of God. So this is how I see Darren, and I miss him dearly. I walk around here and I cry daily. I have to encourage my husband. I miss him, but I have a hope that may sound stupid to everyone, but the Bible says he will come back to life here on a beautiful earth under the paradise where Jesus promised, like he brought back Lazarus. That was an example for me to know I'm going to see him again. But in the meantime, I miss him because Charlotte would be in the house and he would dial me, Mommy, I have to talk. And we just there talk. We talk good things, lovely things, foolish things. I have albums of him. And what I do over the year, I collect his pictures, and each of the kids have an album in our house. And their name is on the back of it. And one day when Charlotte is ready, I could hand him Darren's album. And so I miss him like everyone else. And the other children miss him, and they're sorry they couldn't be here. But please keep the memory of what you all talked about. Thank you so much. Charlotte and Seth, we love you dearly. Keep hanging on, darling. And we're still going to be here for you. And Liz, don't give up. And just keep the memories, because that's all we have for now. But we will be able to see him again. Okay?
And
Thank you all.
just one closing thing, because we have to go there pretty soon, is that as you see on the East Coast, he was known as Darren, on the West Coast as Howard. And just for an FYI, one of his first things that he did was to imitate Ed Sullivan. He could do Ed Sullivan's imitation. And you got to figure at that time, how old could he have been? But that was his foot roll. And the other point was that he got to get with Bill Doggett, learn how to do honky tonk. And he had his first acoustical guitar. He had a store that sold various electronics. And one of his things that he wanted, he begged, Daddy, let me have this guitar. He got that. I knew Bill Doggett. Bill Doggett bought him honky tonk. Just to pass those things on. We love everyone there.
Thank you. Frankie?
Unmute, Frankie. We don't hear you.
Frankie, are you there? Mute your mic.
Unmute, Frankie.
There you go.
Okay, I think I got it now. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hi, Shar. Hi, everyone. You know, I called Howard Rude Boy because that was the name we gave him when we were in the band together, and we played together for years. I knew him when he met Charlotte, and yeah, you can see that was love in the making, and it has been made, and it still is. So, but I have so many memories of him. But my favorites are when we all played together. We used to have a special section of our sets where we let him do all of his imitations: Popeye, Ed Sullivan, Sammy Davis. One of my favorites was Chuck Berry. He was really, really good at doing that. Matter of fact, if Chuck was alive and there, he would say, wait, I have a doppelganger? What? He was an outstanding human being. And when I got sober, when the band broke up, we didn't speak for years. And then he called me on a video chat, and then we became linked from there again. And he was sober. He had been sober about, I want to say 10, 11 years by that time. I was still working on my first year. And so we supported each other through our sobriety. And like everyone says, he was 49er freak. He has all those rings. I don't know how many he has. He had, Shar would know better than me, but he showed me all of his collections. Plus, he had all the championship rings for most of the teams. Let's see, Giants, 49ers, Warriors, and all the other teams. So, Mr. Rude Boy, that's how I always addressed him. Every time I called him, every time he called me, "What's up, Sir Rude?" That was my boy in the band. And I look forward to seeing him every time we played. And then I look forward to our video chats these last few years. And matter of fact, the day before he went into crisis, I talked to him, video chat. And, he was talking about, just in here for this diabetes thing. And the next day, he went into crisis, came out, and he looked good. I thought he was coming home. Matter of fact, I said, "I'll talk to you when you get home." And then he went into crisis and never came back to us that way. And I was crushed. But and it's hard for me now. But I miss those chats, especially we used to sit and watch with his neighbors the Warriors games on TV together. And we used to have a little time delay to be a couple of seconds, and my show was like 2 or 3 seconds ahead. Okay, so when Steph Curry or somebody would hit a fantastic basket, hey, and they go, "Oh, something happened," and then they see it on their side, and so I look forward to every time the Warriors played. Me and Rude would get on the phone together and watch the game together, and he'd have John and some other people, and sometimes Seth and other people in the room with him, and we'd all be watching the Warriors game, and then we tracked the 49ers when they were playing. So, but there was, that's one I to this day I still miss, having these conversations with him, because the Warriors are playing now, and I can't, I can't lock in with him and watch the games with him anymore, and that's, so I miss that terribly. But I miss the entire Howard experience, because then when you are with him, you are experiencing life to its fullest, because he was always out there. And so, Mr. Rob, I want to thank you for putting this together. There's so much more I could probably say, but just know that Shar, I loved him like a brother, and Shar, I don't want you to. You can keep in touch with me every time, and if you feel like you need to talk, give me a holler. And, we can sit up and chat, and might even be able to talk Debbie into doing something. Because me and Deb, us both. So just stay in touch with us. Stay in touch with me, and know that Howard was loved dearly by everybody in this household. Okay, and I don't know who am I. There you go. How you doing? And so I'm going to pass this on now, but just know that Howard will forever be in my heart and in my thoughts. Take it
Thank
away,
you,
Rob.
Frankie. Alberto?
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? My name is Albert Salazar. I'm actually Manny Ramirez's nephew. Got to work with Howard on a lot of gigs. He's the one that Manny told me, he was like, I'm gonna bring somebody on, and he's top of the game. He's gonna show you the ropes, and he did. I was scared. I didn't know what was gonna go on. But he came and he was like, chill, man. I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know about Bay City events. I was like, all right, cool. And you know, he did it with character, with all his, you know, voices and comedic acts and all that. We were considered the triple treat. He was one of the DJs with me, Manny, Howie. Yeah, he was considered the CEO, and he called me the lieutenant to the CEO. And it's not the same without him. Excuse me. Every time I needed somebody. He was there. He was always there. I'll always love Howie. He'll always be in my heart. And I'm not even a Niner fan, but I made a jersey for, you know, my buddy. You know, I'm wearing the bling. Awesome. Let me show you the back real quick. It says Howard H.D. Henderson. He'll always be in my heart. I got to receive one of his rings before he passed. I always cherish this ring. He'll always be by my side. I just want to let you know, it's true. He talked about his family and his friends all the time. I always remember him coming into the office. Bro, I got to talk to this person. I didn't know who the heck it was, but he was so happy to talk to his family and friends. And I know I didn't get to meet Cher, but he talked about you all the time to me, all the time. Seth, I got to see that guy grow. I've known Howard for about 17 years of my life. And those are the best 17 years I've ever had with a certain somebody, which is Howard. He talked about his mom. He talked about everybody. He loved you all. And I'd like to thank you for having me on this chat. I am a very sentimental person. I cry about everything. I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Denise?
Hello, everyone. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi. How you doing?
We can't see you though.
Oh, you can't see me. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Denise. I am Terrence's wife, and Darren was, or should I say, still is my brother-in-law. I met Darren only a couple of times due to the East Coast, West Coast distance, but virtually he was in my household just about every day. And he and his brother would talk. And if anyone knows Darren, knows that he was always the life of most people's conversation. And he would always welcome you into the conversation. He was a good guy. He's a good guy. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm with few words right now because Darren was dear to me, just like he was dear to you. And anybody who knew Darren loved Darren for many, many, many reasons. And when he loved us sincerely. He really did. And although Darren is gone from this earth, we will always have him close to our heart. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share, and I'm going to pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you. Dusty?
Okay.
Dusty, you there? I'm gonna go on to Brian.
Cool. Wow. Well, first of all, hello everybody. And Charlotte, it's so good to see you. It's been many years,
Yeah.
but it's so good to see your face.
Yeah.
And Terrence, I know we haven't, I don't think we've met this way, but my goodness, I feel like you're my brother because Howard has talked about you, as long as I've known him. So I've heard your name a million times, man, especially way back in the day when I first met him. So all I can do really is echo what everybody else has said. By the way, Frank, it's good to see your face too. It's been
Hey, you too.
a lot of years.
Yes,
Howard
it is.
is a dear, 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 dear friend, man. And I grew up with this man. He came into my life early on. He came into my life at a time when I needed a friend like him to come into my life, and boom, and there he was. And I mean, we were, as they say, thick as thieves. We were close just for many, 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 many years. And it's those years of growing up. And I talked about it in another video, but like we were learning to play our music together, really. And that's how we got together. But Howard was the same guy that you guys have all said. He was funny. He was funny from the day I met him. And I mean, from the second I met him, we laughed, we would joke. He brought just such joy, and not just into my life, but everybody we were around and all the band members that we got to know over the years. They'll tell you the exact same thing. Frank could tell, I'm like, it's funny when it's not there. I guess you take it for granted. But having somebody that can bring that much joy into your life is such an important gift. And that's what Howard has been to me. He was a gift, kind of like an angel that comes in your life. I mean, how many people come in your life and really bring joy? Some people come in and they maybe they pull from you, or cool, but he brought absolute joy. He would do anything for his friends, always there for you. So it's been a tough few months, and I'm sure it has for everybody, but I know life goes on. We have no choice on that. So we go on and we have the best of memories, and we come back to those memories, and they'll continue to bring us joy. And I'll tell you what, I have a massive amount of memories of Howard. So when I'm feeling down, I can think back on a plethora of things, and it will lift me back up. So, I mean, that's really what I can say right now. But it's so good to see your faces, and it's so good to know that I know how many people just love this man, and it's good to see everybody come together. And Charlotte, I love you. Thank you so much for being in his life and being such a. I mean, you were everything for this man. Because I was there when you guys met, so I knew him prior, and I knew the man he became after. And I give you nothing but just love and respect. So thank you so much. And you're in our hearts, you're in our prayers. If you need anything, I'm there. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Brian. I just want to say about Dusty. Well, she's my neighbor, lives across the street. Dustin, I don't think you're able, we can't hear you. You're unmuted, so we can't hear you. But anyway, she's my neighbor, and she would come over and watch the 49er game with Howard. So anyway, but good to see you too, Brian, and everybody. I'll let Rob get back to Rob's got some special stuff for us.
So I'm going to go last here, and I'm just going to kind of go through my relationship. So I went to music college in Boston, and I came out of college, and I just wanted to work, right? I just wanted to like somehow make that transition to being a working musician. And Stan, Keith, I went in, there was a thing called BAM Magazine, and I would just try to do it whatever I could, and played probably the worst gigs you could ever imagine. And I auditioned for 1 million people that everybody had a record deal, but nobody had anything. And we played at places for no money. And then Stan kind of pulled me into his group called The Mix. And there was a guy named Les Edwards, and him and Les had a band, and they would tour everywhere. And Stan was working all the time, and it, 5-7 days a week, 7 nights a week, and then going to Canada and touring and doing everything. So somehow Stan saw something in me, and he said, "Hey man, I like your feel. I'm going to pull you in." So what happened is Stan started working with this band called The Mix, and I actually he got me in. He goes, "Okay, when you're with The Mix, you got to move equipment. You have to sing. You have to learn all the songs. You have to do everything. It's a group effort." And I remember he would let people in that were kind of misfits or having trouble. Stan gave everybody a chance. So it was a guitar player named Rich for a while. We toured a little bit, and then Rich left, and then Howard got in the band. And I remember going on the road, and we went to Hood River. I remember being in a hotel room, and Stan would be teaching Howard jazz standards, because we'd do like a jazz standard set. And I remember, how funky Howard was. I mean, he was, his rhythm was impeccable, and you could just lock into him and feel it. And it was so easy to play with him. We would do, Howard became part of Daryl Scotty booking agencies, and we would work like all the time. And Brian knows, like, there was a lot of gigs, and we would go through the circuit, and we'd work everywhere. I mean, you were lucky if you had a week off. We were just working straight, and we go to Tahoe, and we'd work like, it would be like 7 days a week, five sets. We worked from 10 to 3 in the morning. And I remember we'd work at this place called the Red Lion, which I think is called the Doubletree in San Jose. And Stan would be late, right? And we'd be stressing out, and the food and beverage manager would pull us aside and lecture us about being professional. And Stan, even though this would happen, Stan would still kind of be, rebellious, and he'd be late. And we're just trying to hold on to our gigs and do what we could. But we always kept us working. And then I remember we had the earthquake, the big earthquake in San Francisco in like '89. My mother had just passed, and I was going through all this stuff. Everybody in the band actually helped me through that time. I was actually going to go play the gig. My girlfriend at the time said, no, you can't play. And then it kind of hit me as I was playing, I think at the Red Lion, and I broke down. I think Anthony, another singer in the band, really helped me through all that, and Howard and the whole band helped me through this really hard period. And I remember we're playing on stage at the Red Lion, and there was an aftershock, and it had this overhang, and I'm going to show you the video in a minute. And everything shook like, it was something else, but we just kept playing. And with the comedy, he would do his comedy set. So he would do Popeye, he would do impressions of Sammy, and he would just go through his whole set with doing everybody. And he would even do impressions of me, like when the way I walk. And I remember Steve Owens going, "Oh, he's got you down. He's got you down." So he could pick up on anything, any characteristics of anybody.
Right.
So I did a little video here that I did, a little compilation. The story behind this video is that we had these VHS tapes that were from 1980, and when I told Charlotte, I said, "I'm going to find this tape. I know it's here. I know where it is." So I went to go find it, and I couldn't find it, and it was lost. And my wife here found the tape. She says I was guided towards, so she went and she found it. And then I had the tape, and then my VCRs do not work anymore. So I go, I can't, how am I going to transfer this thing? It doesn't work. So I tried to fix the VCR, and I made the VCR even worse. So I went to go buy, I'll buy a VCR VCR is about $800 now because they're rare items. So I bought a VCR on Amazon just to return it. And then I couldn't get the actual upload software, or I had to get like a video capture device. That didn't work. And I finally got one that worked and got the software. Long story short, I got the thing working. And I digitized it. It's available for all you guys if you want it. But I made a little video excerpts of some of the songs and some of the playing that we did in the 80s at the Rusty Pelican. So I'm just going to share that with you guys. It's about 10 minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, do it.
I want to hear it.
Okay.
We got to hear from you too, Rick Bailey.
Thank you for letting me in. I'm sorry I took so long to get in. I'm low tech.
Yo, Rick.
You're here now. That's all that matters.
How you doing, Frank?
All right, Rick. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Shar?
My video.
Huh?
Is
Hang in there.
Shar's in there and Brian?
Yeah.
Brian there too?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Rick.
Um,
Slick Rick.
I know when he shows this video, Howard even imitated me and Bruce Conti too, and he had us down.
Yeah.
He missed his calling in so many ways.
Yeah.
You know, he was a great guitar player, but he could have done anything. He could have done radio. I tried to get him to do radio. You know, I said, you have the greatest radio voice. You should be doing that, making money. He didn't care about that. He
But you
just
know-
wanted to have fun.
I told people that Howard was like the black Jim Carrey because he could mold his face into different people too.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Here we go.
Unrelated band.
really good to play. A girl's got a heart, that's got a heart. Sit down, that's the you start strong. Says she wants that because she likes blues. Come on back, so just cause you lose. That's the way I feel, 'cause that's the way I like it. That's the way I feel, 'cause that's the way I like it. I like it, I like it, the night is young and so are we. So come and dream. We're walking in the park, kissing the dark. Girl, 'cause that's the way I like to do. Come to me and goes right there. You are me, and with the positive emotions I'm making it show. There's no need to fuss, just like a girl on the board. These feelings I get, I often wonder why. So I thought about discussing just you and I. Then what you wear, I don't care if I get dressed for my reason. I want your girl just for what you are. And if I said I think about it, you rule my world, so try to understand. I'm in love, girl. Let's go along, girl. I just step back, take.
You guys get that?
Yes,
Hey.
sounded good.
Good job.
I like it.
That was awesome, Rob.
Yeah, I got to say that that was two bands that came together. It was the Brothers Owens and Stan Keith in the mix.
Right.
And I think we were rehearsing at a place in Hayward, and all this mayhem happened, and then that band kind of started. So
Right.
And we played for like maybe it was like 8 years, something like that, Frankie. Like,
It was a while, yeah.
yeah,
After the Brothers Owens broke up, then we came together as Unrelated.
yeah. So I was the only white guy. I was the white boy. I was the lone white boy, but it just happened by accident, you know, that happened, you know. But man, I learned so much in that band with how to play, you know, because I was playing a lot of notes, you know, so I learned how not to play. And
Right.
boy, they gave me a lesson on that. I'll tell you, that stuck with me. That kept me working.
And Rob, I still remember your nickname, Scob, from Howard.
From Howard, yeah.
It's called him Scob.
I have a hard time not calling you Scob, so.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how he gave nicknames to almost every person that he met.
Right.
He even gave himself a nickname because he's my daughter's godfather. And he chose the nickname Nino
Brownie.
Nino Brownie.
Yeah, Nino Brownie.
Nino Brownie.
He was Nino Brownie, so she grew up just knowing him by Nino Brownie. It's amazing how he gave everybody nicknames.
PP.
Yeah, was Pee-Pee. It's amazing. Pally's, what else? Albert, what did he call you? Lieutenant or
Yep.
something like that. And of course, Michelle was Shell Bell. His mom was Mama Do.
Yeah.
And he said Mama Do. That's, you know, I know who he was talking about. Mama Do. And you were the only one that had that name, Mama Do. Let's see, who else? Jeff, he would call you Apple. I don't know why. He just say Apple. I talked to Apple, my Apple today, and man,
It's in the name.
it's just everybody, and it was
Big
great.
Apple, New York.
Brian Carter. I just knew you as Carter, and never knew you as Brian. It was amazing. I talked to Carter today, and I was like, Carter, and I was, oh, Carter, okay. And then I always thought that was your first name.
Exactly. Well, you know what he used to call me Jim.
Oh,
Jim. And I never knew who the hell Jim was, but that was me.
Yeah,
Jim.
he called me Joe. So
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
That was great, though.
Charlotte, do you want to share the Rat Pack video?
I can, but since we haven't heard from Rick Bailey yet, or
All right,
then-
I'm here.
Keep
and
going.
I know, but you can, you know, everybody kind of got to say how they, you know, their memory of Howard, how they knew Howard, or
Well, Howard, he put on a show. He did a Thriller, the song Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Right.
yeah,
And I wish somebody could have recorded that thing, man, because that was like a showstopper. And
yeah.
what he would do is we go into that part in the middle where Vincent Price does a rap.
Yes.
And he would go backstage and he would mess up his hair. And then he would he had this mechanical hand he would have coming out of his stomach that would be moving around. And then he would put all these rubber insects and bats and everything in his mouth, and then drink some blood.
I forgot about
And
that.
at the end of the rap, he would throw up. All this stuff would come out of his mouth. And some people, they either loved it or hated it. But I mean, it was like, it was a showstopper. And him and Brian used to do a seminar for tough guys, like a comedy act. And that thing got over too. That burned up about 15 minutes. He'd do Lassie and Popeye and, you know, just all these different things. And he was much more than a guitar player. He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy could do a lot of stuff. He did a lot. He kept us entertained, you know, and I just, you know, I can't, he's really going to be missed. I mean, the guy was great. Later on, I seen him do DJ work. He was doing a DJ and then he joined the Rat Pack.
Yep.
And then I seen him on a video with Sammy Hagar. I guess he made buddies with him. And he's all over the place. He's doing a lot of stuff. You know, I'm really gonna miss Howard.
Yep.
Hey, Ricky, are you there?
Yeah. And Rob, good to see you again. I haven't seen you for about 40 years, you know. And Frank, and you know, I haven't, I'm glad everybody's still here, you know, and I'm sorry that Howard's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Rick, I think the last time I saw you was at Baroni's, wasn't it?
I don't, where's Baroni's at?
Pleasanton.
Yeah, no, I don't even remember that place, but I probably was there, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a while, huh? But I've seen you on that video that Rob just played, and you're doing that rap thing that what was the name of that song? Bust a Move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
sounded
the
good,
song I
man.
sung with you on.
Yeah,
really?
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was really happy to
The
hear that
female
you,
voice.
you guys sounded great in that. I was happy to hear that because young MC Marvin Young is actually one of my best friends. He grew
Oh,
up with me in Queens. We were in the same school, PS 95, Jamaica, Queens.
nice.
So we're still in touch. And I saw that song and I was like, yes, that was
Oh,
great.
that's a funky tune, man. That's your buddy,
Great
huh?
tune. That's my boy. Yep.
Yeah.
It's all connected, man. We're all connected.
Yes,
somehow.
indeed.
I know I did a gig with Top Shelf, and we did it with the
Yeah.
Rat Pack, but at that time Howard wasn't with them.
No, I
He had-
recognize you. I recognize you from Top Shelf. I know you from
Yeah.
Top Shelf. Yeah. We had
We did-
that was after I think he was not able to perform anymore. So he was,
Yeah.
so that was up in, we did some in the city. We did some at Tony's over at Zio's.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I remember you.
That was a great show you guys put
It
on.
was fun. It was fun.
Hey, Eric Kingsbury, are you there? We used to call him Smoothie.
Smoothie.
Smoothie, are you there? I guess he's not there. Tyler, are you there? I guess not. Hey, Charlie, you want to play that video? I allowed you guys to share.
I will try my best to do it.
I think there's some of Howard in there doing Candyman and the stuff I gave you.
Yes.
That he loved doing that one. And he was so good at it, and the audiences just ate him up and the song.
Hold
you know?
on.
Yeah.
Now I gotta just figure out how to share it. So.
There he is.
Can you see it?
Yes, and
Yeah.
you may have to share the
Okay.
audio too. There's a feature for that.
Hey, Cher, I think you got to share the audio. You have to click the share audio.
Where do I do that?
It's a selection on the share. It should be at the bottom left.
Yes, yes, share screen, and then on the bottom left it says share sound. Click that one too.
Okay.
See that?
Hold on. Let me go back to the Zoom page.
Yeah. Click the share button, share screen button, and then on the
Well,
bottom of that.
As soon as I get back to the, hold on. Okay, share.
Yeah, click share screen in the bottom left of that window. You'll see share sound and just click that.
All right, hold on.
You'll probably have to start again.
Yeah, I will start again. It just says you are sharing, but I don't see where it says to share the sound.
Click the share screen button itself.
Well, okay, share
Or maybe,
sound. Got it.
there you go.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And I have to go back to getting this to go. Might have to start it over. I can't figure it out.
or just go from there. I don't think we lost
Well-
much of it.
Or you could just close it and start again.
There it is.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Things to bear. Are you much too in love to hear? All the wagon is one ear and out the other. This song goes out to anybody who's going to jail on house arrest or currently in litigation. Let's put your hands up so we know where you're at. I knew a man, Bojangles had. He danced with me. In worn out shoes, silver hair, a ragged shirt. And fight, it was all of our might. Chances are some heavenly star spangled night. You'll find out as sure as you live. Something really got to give. Now who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover with the chocolate and a miracle or two? Candyman, oh the Candyman can, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes with love and makes the world taste good. Now who can take the rainbow, wrap it in a side, soak it in the sun and make the groovy lemon pie? The Candyman, oh the Candyman can, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Now look, one thing about my candy, melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Now you talk about your chocolate wishes, you can even eat my dishes. Now who can take tomorrow and dip it in a drink? Separate the sorrow and collect all the cream. Candyman, oh the Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Now if you didn't hear me, my candy melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Now you talk about your chocolate wishes, you can even eat my brown britches. Tomorrow and dip it in a drink. Separate the sorrow and collect all the cream. Candyman, oh the Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candyman, the Candyman, the Candyman. Love in your mouth, not in your hand. The Candyman, the Candyman, the Candyman, the Candyman. Love in your mouth, not in your hand. The Candyman.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great night. I think
like
he and
the
I
word-
drove there together and it was a great night. I was at Angelica's in Redwood City.
Uh,
I liked it when he said about even
Brown.
his brown britches.
Brown britches.
yeah.
You love that part.
You know, when he first started to work, on Sammy and said he was gonna do that, and he would be back in the room, and he had his little green screen up. I mean, he was singing at the top of his lungs, and he was never a singer, right? It was not his thing, and I would just hear him back there, and I'd go, oh boy. Whatever he always made up for whatever, maybe lack of something he had, because he was such just
Entertainer.
Just
He
an
was so
entertainer.
charming.
It
He
didn't
charmed
matter,
those audiences. They loved him. They loved the Candy Man. As
Yeah.
tall as he was, it didn't matter. They loved him.
Yeah.
It was always a joy working with him.
Yeah, trust me, guys. You guys didn't hear Candy Man enough as I have. He was at the office every single day, all day long. I mean, we brought out all the speakers and everything and just blasted as loud as we could.
Yep.
But his confidence level, believe it or not, was actually low when he first started. He was up and down about it. He was like, should I do this? Can I do this? How do I sound? I says, you know what? You need confidence builder. Something needs to build your confidence. I can't do it alone by myself. So you need to kind of go around to friends and ask them also, because I hear you every day and you sound good to me, but I can tell you that until I'm blue in the face, but you need to go out and figure it out from other people. And so he did, and he actually got the confidence. And I said, just be yourself, be yourself on stage. And that's what brings out his singing, is his talent.
All he needed was an audience.
Right, exactly.
Then it didn't matter. If he has an audience, he's going to perform 100%.
Right.
He got up and did it at my wedding.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you're right. Yes, I saw the video. That
We
was
have that on
great.
video somewhere.
Yeah, I have that too.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
So is there anybody I left out that wants to say something?
Well, if we could get Eric Kingsbury to speak. Guess not.
I knew him as Rick Kingsbury.
No, we used to call him Ricky, but then then we used to call him Smoothie, which I think he made that name up himself. But the band was, there were like a chick magnet, so a lot of stuff was going on. Multiple girlfriends at the same time with the band members there. It had a lot of charisma. Everybody had a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
And during his last days, as much as he loved to give out, he also loved to receive. If you presented him, we did the conference calling on Duo, and we talked a lot. We even had an opportunity, I'll let my wife tell you, with Michelle, and how he loved to receive, especially in his final days when he was losing his strength.
He had the tube in, and we were with him at the last moment, and we were talking to him, and he broke down so much, I didn't know what to do. So I called Michelle in Arizona. I says, I need help. Grandpa gonna pass out. Uncle Darren isn't doing too good. And I says, will you sing to him? And she sang to him. And although he was almost out, he started responding with this tube in his mouth, and the nurses came in and was watching him, and he wanted to say something so much, and she sang to him, and of course we broke down, and the next day he was gone.
Yeah, yeah, because we stayed right with him on the 25th right up to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with that. But again, as much as he loved to give out, music was his life, entertaining was his life. And as we see from everyone, the East Coast, Darren, the West Coast, Howard, was in all of our hearts. And we truly miss them all.
Well, we know we're gonna see Howard again when our turn comes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Because he's in a good place.
This was great. Thank you
Yep.
all for allowing me to join you today, and God bless you all, and God bless Howard.
Amen.
Guys,
Thank
thank
you,
you
Jeff.
so much for
Amen.
being here.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Really appreciate
I
it.
got a piece of
And
all
Rob,
of
thank you
you
for doing
from
this.
him.
Yes.
Okay, Liz,
Okay.
hold
Amen.
tight.
And Rob, send me a copy of that tape.
Thank you,
Gotta
Mama.
go.
Got it, brother. I got
Talk
plenty
tomorrow,
for
okay,
everybody.
Sarah?
Bye.
Take care,
All
everybody.
Thank you,
right.
everyone.
Yeah,
So,
thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Great to see you all.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And give your
Thank you for
baby
all
big
coming
hug from us,
together.
will you, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Great seeing everybody.
Great seeing you.
Okay, Terry.
Look it up.
Thanks for putting this on,
Bye,
Rob.
Miss. Bye,
Did you
Dennis.
record
Bye,
this, Rob?
everyone.
I did.
Okay.
Miss,
We
check
love-
your
Thank
WhatsApp.
you.
We love you, Howard.
Yep.
Bye.
Yeah. Love you,
Which
Howie.
Howard?
Bye.
The
Bye.
older Howard or the younger Howard?
Yeah.
Either one, all of them.
See, that's why the name Darren came in handy.
Okay. Well, younger
Thanks for
Howard would be
letting me
sad.
share.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Good
thank you,
day.
thank you.
Even though he's not in body, but his spirits are here with us. So
Keep a love in your heart. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Liz, good seeing you, girl. So take good care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, all the Howard
And,
people.
and let's see, the Terrence and Jean, Denise go.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Oh, no, there's Denise. Okay,
then,
Denise.
take
Take care.
Okay, bye.
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 Say hi to
Bye.
TJ and
Bye,
Shelley.
guys.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Goodbye.